Hello YouTube, EasyGoingMC back with another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be taking a look at an automatic wool farm for Minecraft 1.15 and up. This farm provides you infinite amount of wood with very little player interaction required, and of course it can be infinitely expandable, meaning you can essentially make this farm as big as your render distance allows. So let's get into a brief overview of how this farm works. This farm functions by detecting when a sheep eats grass and its wool is regrown. Whenever it eats grass, the observer will detect that and then power this dispenser right here, which has shears inside, which then of course shears the sheep. And that is a new mechanic quite recently that made these types of farms possible. So hopefully we can see that happen. Yep, right here. Ate the grass, it was detected, and then instantly sheared. And then a minecart hopper system down below detects this and deposits the wool all in this chest. So that's basically a brief overview of how this farm works. If you're already sold, I'll put the timestamp for the tutorial and when it begins right on here right now. But right now I'm actually going to go into a more in-depth overview of a few mechanics on how this farm really functions. The first mechanic we're going to take a look at is grass spread. So basically grass spreads in a 3x3 by 5 volume, with the center being the grass block. This means that in order to speed up the rate at which the grass that the sheep is eating grows, we want to maximize the amount of grass we have in this volume. So this is why we have all this grass surrounding, as well as why this minecart rail is also made of grass. So that's essentially why, and that's how grass spreads. So now looking at the sheep shearing dispenser mechanic. So the way this works is whenever the dispenser is powered with shears, it will shear the sheep in front of it. It's important to note that even if it's powered without the sheep, it's not going to use extra durability. It's also not going to spit out the shears. And this also holds true in a situation like this where there's nothing to shear in front of it. So there's a sort of a more in-depth look of the mechanics, and now we're going to hop in right into the tutorial. So to build this farm, you're going to need the following items. For the entire farm, you're going to need 2 hoppers, redstone comparator, redstone torch, 2 redstone dust, a chest, and of course a minecart with a hopper. And then depending on the size of your farm, you will need some blocks, some grass, as well as rails and levers to power powered rails, as well as a shear refilling system. This is sort of up to you. I'll be showing you how to do it with hoppers, but this sort of depends on the size of your farm, the amount of these blocks required. Then per module, you'll need 8 grass blocks, a dispenser, an observer, and then if you were just building a single modular by itself, you would need 10 glass, 1 piece of redstone dust, of course, as many shears as you want in order to back up the system, but you need at least 1, of course, as well as 1 block. But depending on how you build this farm, which I'll show you how to stack rows at the end of the video, you will need less redstone and less blocks. And then if you simply just build modulars next to each other like over there, you're of course going to need less glass because you sort of reuse it. But this is roughly what you need. You can also find this in the description. But let's get directly into building this farm. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to build up a row of grass blocks. I'm just going to do this off the ground to leave room for the system so I don't have to break any blocks. But essentially you want to build this up as long as you want the row to be. And then you want to go through around the back and just place an observer every other block like this. You can just go out 1 more, make it even. And then on top of every single observer, you want to place a dispenser facing inwards like so. Then behind the observer, you want to place a block, and then you want to place a piece of redstone dust. And this is actually all of the redstone done. Next, what I recommend doing is putting in your shear refilling system. So what you're going to do for this, if you're using hoppers, is place hoppers like so, 1 facing into each other, and like so. And then of course, you're going to want to place a row of hoppers on top of them. And this will essentially allow you to fill this up with shears so they can be distributed across all the dispensers as they're needed. The next step is to extend this by grass. It's also important to note that you could use regular dirt and just allow the grass to spread over time, but if you have grass, obviously that'd be a little easier and a little less time consuming. Then you're going to want to go through and you're also going to place grass in between these observers like so, and this essentially maximizes that 3x3 range of the grass. And then you want to place glass in a pattern like this. So that's actually the bulk of the farm done. Now all that's left to do is, of course, put in a chest for your shears, and you can start filling in the shears there as you need to. And you're also going to need to put in the minecart system down below. So let's put in the minecart system first. So essentially, right below where this observer is, you want to go down one block and place a block of grass. You're going to want to do grass underneath the entire length of the farm, and that basically means that grass can actually spread up to there. Then you want to lay down your rails. You don't have to use all powered rails, but that's what I'm going to do for this tutorial. And then at the end of it, where you want your minecart unloading station, you want to place at least one regular rail, and then you want to have a powered rail right here. And then you want to place your chest right at the end, right here. And then you want to place two hoppers, like so. Block of your choice right there. And I realized I sort of messed this up, but you want this as the pattern you want. So rail, powered rail on the hopper. And then coming off of this, we want our redstone now. So once you have your redstone, you put it right here, your torch, into dust like so, and that is actually that system done. Now all you need is to power these rails, make sure they're all powered. So yeah, just use levers to do that. That's definitely the cheapest way, but there's definitely other options. And then finally, to finish this system up, you just gotta do something like this. And then up here, you can place a chest on your system, and you can start depositing shears into it. And these will flow through like so. Of course, the final step is to get your sheep into place. This might be kind of difficult, but I'm confident you guys can do it. Use leads, boats, anything you need. Also place a block of glass on top of these dispensers like so. I definitely recommend doing that. So yeah, so you just place your sheep into place. They can be any color, of course. We're just getting a mix from the natural spawning here. And then you can go through and just place some glass just right on top to keep them all contained in there. So that's one row of the farm done. You obviously can expand this very, very long in this direction. But now I'll show you how to build a row on this side and on this side of the farm. So on this side of the farm is definitely the easiest, so I'd build on this side first. But basically, to build on this side, what you want to do is just place like your grass block right there. And I'll just do a couple. And you want to place your observer right there, so it's observing this grass. Basically, you're just mirroring the farm. And this essentially means you can use the same redstone dust for this. It doesn't really matter, as I showed you guys earlier, that if this one's powered, even though there's nothing to shear, that really has no effect on the farm. So you just build up, of course, your farm like this and just add a minecart rail over here. You could do another unloading system depending on how long it is, or just like loop it back and forth like I have over there. And then to build it on this side, essentially, your next block with sheep can be right here, and you can have it surrounded like so, and your observer would be here. So once again, it's just mirrored, and I kind of built that wrong. So you'd have your observer right here, so there's just a one block gap with this, and you just go down the line once again. So that's how you would expand it. Of course, there's probably another way you could do the shear system as well. That's a little less expensive. You probably could do this with minecarts fairly easily. But yeah, that's sort of the most basic version of this farm complete. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you drop a like down below. If you need any help building this farm or just want general chit-chat, my Discord server link is down in the description. And of course, if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe for more farms as well as Let's Play content. That's all I got for you today, though. Anyways, have an easygoing day, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.